Hello! Okay, this past couple days I've been reading this book, okay? Action Park, the untold story of America's most dangerous amusement park. It is so good. But it's also been reminding me so much of like when I was a lifeguard at a water park. When I was 17, yeah, because 16 I worked at McDonald's, 17 I worked at, what was it called? The beach. It was called The Beach in the middle of New Mexico. It is no longer open, and probably for good reason, because people got hurt there all the time as well. But it's just, it's not funny, but it is funny, but it's not funny, but it is funny. So I was a lifeguard there. This is crazy. This is crazy because he just makes these insane rides, and then he's like, well, people are paying to have fun. I'm selling adrenaline, and if they get hurt, they get hurt. Like, that's part of it. To some degree, I relate to the guy who made the park, of like wanting to create insane stuff, but I don't relate to him just like hurting people. Like, I don't really like that aspect of it. He did hurt a lot of, oh my god. But then people also willingly did it. It's a weird thing. But then it reminded me of when I was a lifeguard, and like, so as a lifeguard, like, we would have these like hand signals. So when you're at the top watching out the two slides, the one slide in particular, the one, it was like they were open tube water slides. The ones with the rafts, such a pain in the butt, because if you're small, they get stuck because the water isn't running high enough to push you through. And then if you're a big person, they always flipped. They always flipped. And I think the signal for like flipping was like this, and then the signal for like kids stopping was like this. So you like blow your Fox 40 whistle, and you like, and then you'd signal down to the guard at the bottom and be like, and then there was also this. Oh my god, I just remembered that one. And that is when a child had gone down, and you thought they were kind of through it. Maybe you lost track because you were watching the other slide too, because you were watching two slides. And the person at the top sent like an adult behind them, and that's the adult smashing into the child. Oh my god. Like, like when you learn CPR for lifeguard, you're like, I hope I never have to use this. Swear to God, every single day there was like emergency calls for things. And that's the same when they're talking about the wave pool in this book. And it reminded me, that also reminded me of when I went to this water park in Disneyland, or Disney, what's the one in Florida? The Florida one. My mom took us on the train and we went down there, and my sister in the wave pool, my mom told my sister to not, do not let go of the tube. Whatever you do, do not let go of the tube. This is funny, but it's also not, because my sister almost died. Flips over on one of the waves, holding on with dear life to the tube, and my mom is trying to flip her over, but because Chelsea's just holding on so fucking tight. Oh, it's funny, but it's not. But it's funny, but it's not. But it's not. I know I shouldn't be laughing, but it's okay because everything's okay, right? But my mom was furious at the lifeguard because he was just watching and not helping. And I'm like, yeah, but then having the other side of having worked at the water park and being like, when that stuff would happen, it was terrifying. But I was only ever a shallow water guard because I couldn't pass the deep water guard test, which I'm glad I didn't ever have to work the wave pool. Like, it was $1 more an hour, but like, I think that one was so much more dangerous. Like, there was way more like possible like drowny kind of stuff for people there. Like, I could pass, there was 2 things to pass the test, deep water guard, and you had to hold a brick above your head, I think for like somewhere between 3 and 5 minutes. Could do that, no problem. It was actually the part that I was most worried about. The other part was the swim part. We had to swim back to one side and back in a certain amount of time. I can't remember how much time, or maybe even twice, and I couldn't pass that because when I took the test, like, he had forgotten about me in the morning and then made me do it at the end of the day after I worked all day, and then I was so exhausted from being out in the sun and all day and everything, which granted, you know, there are kids working like that, working at the wake pool. But I was so mad. I remember being so mad about that. It was just some weird stuff that came up, and I figured I'd share because it seemed kind of harmless and like safe to share if anybody was interested. I don't know. Also kind of dumb. So yeah, I've been reading this book the past 2 days. I'm like halfway done, but I've only been like lightly reading it. Okay, I actually forgot something that I actually really wanted to record and share, because there was a couple nights that we would come in as guards and get to play at the park with no guests in it, and it was awesome, right? And there was this thing that the like guards who had been there for years would do that nobody, that you were absolutely not allowed to do because it was dangerous. And I have looked it up everywhere and I cannot find it, but it's on the slides that are the 75-foot drop slides. And at the bottom, they would put their legs up on the rails and ski along the end of the slide. And I wanted to try it so bad, but then like somebody got caught doing it and got fired, and I was like, oh, I don't want to lose this job. I love this job. I have looked everywhere to see if anybody else has footage of that being done, because it also looked so cool. Like the water, how the water went up and everything. And I was like, I've never seen anything like that before. And I've never seen it ever again since. And they called it skiing. If anybody can find footage of that, of somebody else doing those at parks or something, I would like to see it. At least see it one more time in my life. It was so cool. And is it called something else? Just interested, just really? Ugh. I've Googled and Googled and Googled trying to find that, and I can't find it, so I just wonder, where did it come from? There's no way that was the only part there's no way. What is this video? What are any of my videos anymore? I don't know. All right, bye.